JFK Assassination. The JFK assassination refers to the murder of President John F. Kennedy on November 22, 1963, in Dallas, Texas. While the official explanation is that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone, numerous theories suggest otherwise. These theories propose that various entities such as the CIA, Mafia, Soviet Union, or even Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson, were involved in the assassination. One reason these theories persist is the mysterious circumstances surrounding the event. Oswald was killed by Jack Ruby before he could stand trial, leading many to believe he was silenced to prevent revealing a larger plot. Additionally, inconsistencies in the Warren Commission report, which investigated the assassination, have fueled doubts about the official story. For example, the magic bullet theory suggests a single bullet caused multiple wounds to both Kennedy and Governor Connally, which seems improbable to many. The grassy knoll, a small hill overlooking the assassination site, is often cited as a possible location of a second shooter. Eyewitnesses reported hearing shots from this area, and some even claimed to see gunmen. These conflicting accounts contribute to the belief that there was a conspiracy involving multiple shooters. Overall, the JFK assassination remains a focal point for conspiracy theories due to the high-profile nature of the victim, the unresolved questions, and the potential involvement of powerful groups. The lack of definitive answers has kept the theories alive, captivating those who seek the truth behind one of America's most significant and controversial events. Click subscribe to this channel to get more topics you love. 9/11 Inside Job. The 9/11 inside job theory asserts that the September 11, 2001 attacks were orchestrated or permitted by elements within the U.S. government. Proponents believe these attacks were used as a pretext for war and to curtail civil liberties. One key argument is the collapse of the Twin Towers. Skeptics argue that the buildings fell in a manner consistent with a controlled demolition, not just from the impact of the planes and subsequent fires. They point to the rapid, symmetrical collapse and the presence of explosive residues as evidence. Another focal point is World Trade Center 7. This building, which was not directly hit by planes, also collapsed later in the day. The official explanation is that fires caused by debris led to the collapse, but conspiracy theorists argue that this too was a controlled demolition. The Pentagon attack also raises questions. Some believe that the damage was inconsistent with a commercial airliner crash, suggesting instead that a missile or smaller aircraft was involved. They cite the relatively small impact hole and limited debris as supporting evidence. Furthermore, the absence of NORAD response is seen as suspicious. The North American Aerospace Defense Command should have intercepted the hijacked planes, but it failed to do so. Conspiracy theorists argue that this indicates complicity or a stand-down order from higher authorities. Overall, the 9/11 inside job theory reflects deep distrust in government and skepticism about the official narrative. It underscores the belief that significant events can be manipulated by powerful entities for hidden agendas, a theme common to many conspiracy theories. Moon landing hoax. The moon landing hoax theory claims that the Apollo moon landings were faked by NASA and that humans never actually set foot on the moon. This theory gained traction shortly after the first moon landing in 1969 and has persisted since. One argument revolves around the photographic evidence. Skeptics point to perceived anomalies in the photos and videos taken on the moon, such as fluttering flags, strange shadows, and the absence of stars in the sky. They argue these inconsistencies suggest the images were taken on a soundstage. Another point of contention is the Van Allen radiation belts. These belts surround the Earth and contain high levels of radiation. Conspiracy theorists claim that passing through these belts would be lethal to astronauts without adequate protection, which they argue was not available at the time. The lack of impact craters beneath the lunar module is also cited as evidence. Skeptics argue that the module's descent should have created a noticeable crater on the moon's surface, but photos show undisturbed ground beneath it. Additionally, some believe that the moon landings were faked to win the space race against the Soviet Union. During the Cold War, demonstrating technological superiority was crucial, and landing on the moon would solidify America's position as a global leader. Despite extensive debunking by scientists and the testimony of astronauts, the moon landing hoax theory persists. It highlights the enduring nature of conspiracy theories and the public's fascination with questioning official accounts of historical events. Illuminati and the New World Order. The Illuminati and the New World Order theory suggest that a secret society is manipulating world events to establish a global government. The Illuminati, originally a group founded in 1776 in Bavaria, is believed by some to have continued in secret, influencing major political and financial institutions. Proponents of this theory argue that the Illuminati orchestrates wars, financial crises, and political upheavals to consolidate power and control over the global population. They believe that world leaders, celebrities, and influential figures are members of this secret society, working towards a single agenda. Symbols associated with the Illuminati, such as the all-seeing eye and the pyramid, are believed to appear in various places, including on currency and in popular culture. These symbols are seen as evidence of the Illuminati's pervasive influence. The concept of the New World Order is often linked to the Illuminati. This theory posits that a cabal of elites is working to create a totalitarian world government. Events like the establishment of international organizations, e.g., the United Nations and the European Union, are viewed as steps towards this goal. Critics argue that these theories are rooted in anti-establishment sentiment and paranoia. They point out that complex global events can be explained by a multitude of factors rather than a single, overarching conspiracy. Nevertheless, the Illuminati and New World Order theories continue to captivate the imagination of many, reflecting deep-seated fears about loss of sovereignty and the concentration of power in the hands of a few. Flat Earth Theory. The Flat Earth theory claims that the Earth is not a globe but a flat plane. Despite overwhelming scientific evidence supporting a spherical Earth, some individuals believe that the truth has been concealed by governments and scientific organizations. Proponents argue that visual observations and personal experiences suggest a flat Earth. They claim that the horizon always appears flat and that if the Earth were truly a globe, there would be a noticeable curvature, especially from high altitudes. Another key argument is the behavior of water. Flat earthers contend that water always seeks to find its level, meaning it should lay flat rather than curving around a sphere. They also question why large bodies of water, such as oceans, do not show a curved surface. The Antarctic Treaty is often cited as evidence of a cover-up. This treaty, signed by multiple countries, prohibits unauthorized access to Antarctica. Flat earthers believe this is to prevent people from discovering the edge of the Earth or the ice wall that supposedly surrounds the flat plane. Flat Earth theory also challenges space exploration. They argue that organizations like NASA fabricate images and data to support the round Earth model. They claim that space missions are staged and that astronomical phenomena can be explained without invoking a spherical Earth. Despite being widely debunked by scientists and evidence from satellite imagery and astronomical observations, the Flat Earth theory persists. It underscores a deep mistrust of authorities and scientific consensus, reflecting a broader skepticism of mainstream knowledge. Area 51 and aliens. Area 51 is a highly secretive military base in Nevada, shrouded in mystery and often linked to alien and UFO sightings. Theories suggest that the U.S. government uses Area 51 to study extraterrestrial life and reverse-engineer alien technology. The secrecy surrounding Area 51 fuels these theories. The base was only acknowledged by the government in 2013, despite being operational for decades. This lack of transparency leads many to believe there is something extraordinary being concealed. One of the most famous incidents associated with Area 51 is the Roswell crash in 1947. Conspiracy theorists claim that a UFO crashed in Roswell, New Mexico, and that the wreckage and alien bodies were transported to Area 51 for study. The official explanation of a weather balloon crash is widely dismissed by those who believe in the alien connection. Eyewitness accounts from former employees and whistleblowers also contribute to the mystery. Some claim to have seen alien craft or technology at the site. These stories, combined with high levels of security in restricted airspace, reinforce the idea that Area 51 is a hub for secretive alien research. The pop culture portrayal of Area 51, including movies, TV shows, and books, has amplified public fascination. This portrayal often emphasizes the idea of a government cover-up and the existence of advanced alien technology. While no concrete evidence supports the theory that Area 51 houses alien artifacts, the base remains a focal point for speculation. It embodies the allure of the unknown and the possibility that we are not alone in the universe. Chemtrails. The chemtrails theory posits that the trails left by airplanes, known as contrails, are actually chemicals being dispersed into the atmosphere for various nefarious purposes. These purposes are believed to include weather manipulation, population control, and biological warfare. Supporters of this theory argue that chemtrails differ from normal contrails, which are simply water vapor. They claim that chemtrails linger longer in the sky, spread out, and form cloud-like formations, suggesting they contain additional substances. One major concern is geoengineering. Some believe that chemtrails are part of a secret program to control the climate, reflecting sunlight to combat global warming. However, they fear that such interventions could have unintended harmful effects on the environment and human health. Another aspect of the chemtrails theory is the idea of population control. Some theorists suggest that chemicals in the trails are designed to reduce fertility or induce illness, as part of a broader agenda to control population growth. Government and scientific organizations have repeatedly debunked the chemtrails theory, explaining that the trails are simply condensed water vapor from aircraft engines. They attribute variations in contrail appearance to differences in atmospheric conditions. Despite these explanations, the chemtrails theory persists, driven by a suspicion of authority and a belief in hidden agendas. It highlights how environmental and health concerns can fuel conspiracy theories, especially when combined with visible phenomena that seem mysterious or unexplained. HAARP and weather control. The HAARP, High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, conspiracy theory suggests that this research facility in Alaska is used by the U.S. military to control the weather and manipulate natural disasters. HAARP was officially designed to study the ionosphere and enhance radio communications, but many believe its true purpose is far more sinister. Proponents argue that HAARP's powerful radio frequency transmitters can alter weather patterns, create hurricanes, earthquakes, and other natural phenomena. They point to unusual weather events and natural disasters as evidence, claiming these occurrences are artificially induced by HAARP technology. One aspect of the theory is the belief that HAARP can be used for mind control. Some suggest that the facility's transmissions can influence human behavior and thought processes, contributing to a broader agenda of population control. The secrecy and remote location of HAARP add to the suspicion. Limited public access and classified research activities lead many to believe that the government is hiding the true capabilities of the facility. Official statements that dismiss these claims as baseless only seem to strengthen the resolve of conspiracy theorists. Despite the lack of scientific evidence supporting these claims, the HAARP conspiracy theory persists. It reflects a deep mistrust of government and military activities, especially those involving advanced technology and secretive operations. The idea that powerful entities can manipulate natural forces resonates with broader fears about control and autonomy. Vaccination and Microchipping. The vaccination and microchipping conspiracy theory asserts that vaccines are used by governments and corporations to implant microchips in people, enabling them to track and control the population. This theory gained significant traction during the COVID-19 pandemic, with some claiming that the vaccines developed to combat the virus contain microchips. Proponents point to statements by influential figures, such as Bill Gates, who have spoken about digital identification and health tracking systems. They argue that the pandemic was engineered or exploited to introduce widespread vaccination programs, which serve as a cover for microchipping. The theory often involves concerns about privacy and personal freedom. People fear that microchips could monitor their movements, health data, and even personal conversations. The idea of being constantly surveilled and controlled by a powerful entity resonates with broader anxieties about loss of autonomy and invasion of privacy. Critics of this theory highlight the lack of scientific and logistical feasibility. Vaccines are thoroughly tested for safety and efficacy, and there is no credible evidence to support the claim that they contain microchips. Experts explain that the technology required to create microchips small enough to be injected through a vaccine needle, and functional enough to track individuals, does not exist. Despite these reassurances, the vaccination and microchipping theory persists, fueled by distrust in pharmaceutical companies, government agencies, and global health organizations. It underscores how health interventions can become entangled with fears of technological control and loss of personal freedom. Paul McCartney's death. The Paul McCartney's death conspiracy theory claims that Paul McCartney, the famous Beatles member, died in a car accident in 1966 and was secretly replaced by a look-alike. This theory, often referred to as "Paul is dead," suggests that the remaining Beatles covered up his death to avoid devastating their fans and jeopardizing their success. Proponents of this theory cite various clues found in Beatles songs and album covers. For example, they interpret the cover of the album Abbey Road as a funeral procession, with Paul being the dead figure because he is barefoot and out of step with the others. Additionally, they claim that playing certain songs backward reveals hidden messages, such as "Paul is dead." Another piece of supposed evidence is the physical differences between pre- and post-1966 McCartney. Some theorists argue that changes in Paul's appearance, such as his height and facial features, indicate that a different person took his place. The Beatles themselves have always denied these claims, attributing the clues to coincidence or creative expression. McCartney has addressed the rumors humorously, recognizing their persistence but affirming that he is very much alive. The "Paul is dead" theory persists because it taps into a fascination with hidden truths and celebrity mysteries. It reflects a broader tendency to find patterns and hidden meanings in popular culture, even when there is no substantive evidence to support such claims. Elvis Presley is alive. The Elvis Presley is alive theory posits that Elvis Presley, the iconic rock and roll star, did not die in 1977 but instead faked his death to live a life away from the public eye. Despite official reports confirming his death from a heart attack, many believe Elvis is still alive. Proponents point to alleged sightings of Elvis over the years, claiming that he has been seen at various locations, often under different identities. Some theorists suggest he went into hiding due to pressure from fame, health issues, or threats from organized crime. Another argument involves discrepancies in the death report and funeral. They cite inconsistencies in the details of Elvis's death, such as the time and circumstances. Additionally, they argue that the body in the open casket at his funeral did not look like Elvis, suggesting the use of a wax figure or a look-alike. Supporters of the theory also highlight supposed clues in Elvis's music and movies. Some claim that Elvis left hidden messages indicating his plan to fake his death and return one day. They interpret lyrics and scenes as hints about his true fate. Despite the lack of credible evidence, the "Elvis is alive" theory endures, fueled by a mix of nostalgia, the enduring popularity of Elvis, and the allure of a good mystery. It underscores how deeply people can connect with cultural icons and the lengths to which they will go to keep their legends alive. Reptilian Elite. The Reptilian Elite conspiracy theory suggests that shape-shifting reptilian aliens control the world by taking on human form and gaining political power. This theory, popularized by David Icke, claims that many world leaders and influential figures are actually reptilian beings from another dimension. Proponents argue that the reptilian elite are responsible for manipulating global events and societies to maintain their power and control. They believe these beings have extraordinary abilities, including shape-shifting and mind control, which allow them to operate undetected. Evidence cited by believers includes ancient myths and cultural references to reptilian beings, which they interpret as historical accounts of these creatures. They also point to eyewitness accounts and supposed video footage showing prominent individuals displaying reptilian traits, such as slit pupils or scaly skin. Another aspect of the theory involves secret societies. Some claim that groups like the Illuminati and the Freemasons are fronts for the reptilian elite, working to implement their agenda through covert means. These societies are believed to be part of a global conspiracy to control humanity. Critics argue that the reptilian elite theory lacks credible evidence and is rooted in paranoia and xenophobia. They point out that many supposed proofs, like video anomalies, can be easily explained by technical glitches or misinterpretations. Despite widespread skepticism, the reptilian elite theory remains popular among certain groups. It reflects deep-seated fears about loss of control and the influence of unknown, powerful forces on global affairs.